What's going on, guys? Severio here, coming through. We're back. Took a little bit of a break and a setback for this past weekend for week two's trios day 1 and 2, as well as with day 2 solos for the content for that. I'm still debating on trying to get that recording done, whether it's kind of to your guys' benefit, because since it is something that I casted and I kind of go over it again just for retention purposes. But for solos, for trios, we haven't been able to capture trios into day 1 or 2 for week 2. So really kind of hoping to see where you guys kind of stand with that and seeing if you guys do want to see how that content can be provided if needed. But we will have this play out going through here in a double down between day 1 and day 2 for bi-weekly 2. Now, Moxie let me know that in terms of this day, OUG did some nasty plays. We saw OUG, we're gonna see OUG at some point into this day's standings of catching a 30-point game, or to the extension. I think she said a 30 bomb. So if that means 30 kill game, yeah. So we're gonna have to see how this comes through for the value of this game, for these games. But more importantly, I want to make sure, and appreciating everyone who's giving me feedback on these videos. Of course, the support's kind of immaculate. Even though it may not seem that much, it is 100% worthwhile for continuing doing these, just to keep you guys going through for the NBPL and having that third pair of eyes in the case scenario. I do want to appreciate, though, for you guys to watch these on the live broadcast as well. Maybe not necessarily live towards that 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time window in the morning, but to you guys able to watch the casters do their thing, you know, between today, which was Raven, PLZ, and Seb Guy. Those two were actually for day 1 for trios today. So this is something, if you guys want to keep an eye out for when they're going to be casting, I'll give those heads ups every single time. And it's funny because one of the feedback is, you got to stop saying and I'm like, you know what? True that. I want to make sure in keeping the momentum going through, although when it comes to casting, there are certain moments where I try to avoid using that word as much as possible. That way there's more chances for myself to have a filler word whenever the time comes for my turn to speak, towards the, there it is, towards the broadcasting as general. But for these videos, I mean, it's more me like, they'll see what's happening here, you know? So we'll go into game 1. Holoroth, sunny, cloudy, sunny, and then more style dusk, night, dusk. That's what the process will be. Let me know let me know what you guys think about the mic quality. If anything, if the music's too loud, if it's too obnoxious, if it's too upbeaty for what we're kind of going through here, and if it kind of cross guards the wording of myself, right? Like if it's overtaking or overshadowing my analysis. Since I can't have in-game audio, because then we'll have 3 different voices coming out here between me, the casters, and like anything else, that's be the case scenario. But round 1 selection process, we're gonna have the Sand Siphon comp come through for this side. We are gonna see the Zipingings for 3 times between Bauda, BBE, and GG. And then KLA team came out here with the Kurumi pick instead of theirs for the support. Now, another thing that kind of comes out here, I was actually listening to this temporarily. The Snowball comp. The Snowball comp was something that the Vietnamese teams are actually coming through and actually propagating. But you're seeing these CN teams like WBG. Alliance was the first to kind of make this happen in terms of bringing it up again. But then you see WBG had a tremendous scoring in the first week with those performances for the Snowball comp. So they're just with Sleepwalker especially, came out the test of time. But what is that comp? Wait, what is that comp? And it's funny too, because right before this, I heard Raven say something. He said he said like, oh, I don't expect these teams to actually do anything kind of too different, and I'm seeing a Testa swap in for the Transformer comp. So there's no Weishan, right? So it's kind of confirming a grab pretty much. Their really biggest their biggest threat is going to be an AOT comp, ironically enough. So because if Wu Chen can get that port out, then there's nothing that they can be done. Like they have to make sure Wu Chen is down. They have to make sure Wu Chen is the one tethered, mainly just because they need to make sure that he is not a threat and stopping the grab. More so about denying the damage to be dealt. So for Sleepwalker right then and there, that would be the case scenario for him to try to find that Wu Chen as soon as possible. But you're gonna see only 2 AOT comps so far. Cannonball's coming out here. A Wu Chen third. This is the 3rd AOT comp that I'm seeing here. Oh, 5-2-1 kind of reverted the choice. We're going to see OUG going for the Cannonball Comp as well. AOT for DRG. Cannonball for 5-2-1 here. So that's going to be the plays. I'm really curious about this. Don't let me see a V3 Tessa with the Tian Hai comp, because that's going to be a uber grief moment, I think. Kind of. The thing is that they can't silence the Wu Chen, so he's gonna have full real estate if he gets out there. But let's take a look at the skill selection for these guys. Dongqing seeing an F3 V3 Viper, yep, and then that's gonna be an F2 for FPX for the Tesla, so that's good to see that type of variety. We saw it once before. Can't remember which team kind of rolled around the dice with the F2 Viper, but they had some success. They actually had that game. I gotta look back into week 1 again with that game, where they had the F2 Viper, the F2 Tessa, and the F2 Tessa, that team did like double digits in terms of kills, and we weren't able to see them until the end, and they got eliminated. Now I'm seeing F2 from JT actually coming here for the Tessa as well, and we're gonna see the F3 V3 coming from there. And now if you look at DRG, they're gonna propagate themselves for an F2 silence for Viper into a V1 Viper ult, so that would just make sure and confirming a guaranteed lockdown on one character, one enemy, to prove out a ultimate cast to come out for a 5-second stun, and that's only after Tessa's enchant kind of works its magic through. But another thing to extend, right? So that way the Intest enchant happens for 3 seconds, but within the 6 seconds, 3 seconds in of the Tessa enchantment, we would see the Tessa Viper ultimate be combined afterwards. That's more so just for the control and locking down at least 2 people. That way they can take care of them. The only problem that comes out of that is the Cannonball comp. If they don't lock down that Wei Shan right beforehand, he is going to have a field day with the V3. That stops Viper from all forms of just pressure that she can do against him. So that's where it comes down towards the F2 silence to be a guarantee. So when the silence comes down to it, if it finds the AOT comp, they find the Wu Chen. If they find the Cannonball comp, they find the Wei Shan. If they find WBG, they got to stop the Tian Hai. The biggest threat there is the Tian Hai. They have no really kind of... They have to find the Tian Hai, but they have to make sure Tessa is taken care of by being controlled. Maybe the F2 silence comes out, Tessa enchant on top of the Tessa, so that way they can confirm a guaranteed silence on the Tian Hai. It's really up to how DRG wants to work that comp against them. But even then, you don't see that comp that WBG is trying to rocket into this round. I haven't, at least. And you're actually going to see that separation for the Wei Shans between all teams, F1 and F3. The battle of the skills. It's kind of nuts how F3 is being used to this extent more often than before. Basically, just because it's a 22-second cooldown skill, it allows for 40% negative attack, and then it comes out for 8-second duration, right? So 8 seconds of 40% attack down, that's insane. That's basically when your defense buff comes out from anything, that just gives you the opportunity, and that's going to come out to season 12 detrimentally. Excuse me. Where season 12, you ultimate cast, you get 20% mitigation for 10 seconds. It's every minute, but in a fight, like in this heat of battle, and if an F3 comes out from Wei Shan, he'll find any opportunity to stop the enemy team from being able to do anything damage-wise. His biggest threat into the sense is if he finds an enemy Yodo, for instance, and he F3s her, she tries to ult 40% negative attack. That's a straight blow towards her damage and heal back if she hits targets. But let's take a look at the spawns here. Okay, this is kind of based. Gen Armory for WBG, FPX, and if I'm not mistaken, that's 521. That medallion, it's yeah, it's 521. Okay, why is there 3 teams on Gen Armory? I know it's a high loot area for higher trophy spawn frequency. XCG in Metob for themselves. This is Sunny. Firefly cage. If they make their way towards a Firefly cage around yonder, right? They go across this walkway towards a ravine. If they're lucky, there's a Firefly cage right there too, between south of Pinnacle Town. OUG is already on Salvation Podium. They have that dead to rights for now. And then when you see KLA and Bauda, they're actually going to be over by the Southwestern Barracks. Maybe making their way south towards a Firefly cage right there if it spawns. It's really RNG when it comes towards Sunny and cloudy when it comes towards Holoroth, so you won't see as many Firefly cages. Definite. The only definite Firefly cage 400% sure is the Yushan Ruins cave, with that secret room where you take the portal. And it looks like DRG, FPX, GG, they're all over there. J-Team as well. Nearby more so towards the Serpent's Pass, because Serpent's Pass also has a Firefly cage by RNG spawn, but the fact that 3 teams are spawning in Jin Armory has me worried. There'll be 4 teams. Why is there 4 teams? Come on. Whose idea is this? Yo, that's crazy though. 14 spawn, Mad Lad spawn. And I actually was looking at the scores from a scrim that happened the day after this when solos was happening. So right the day that's day 2 solos was happening, that we saw the trios teams scrimming against each other in their scores. It had JL at the top, but the JL isn't performing today because they're gonna be playing day 2 and day 3. But the fact that this spawn is happening is kind of Mad Lad energy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at this like a huh? But hey, you know, it's all for the content. And these guys are looking for the content for the starting off spawn. So let's take a look at game number 1 to see what the heck is going on in Jin Army and why is there so many players. I'm not sure, but I see BBE Snack getting himself locked down. He has a purple weapon on the ground there, while Baiji looking to try to chase after his opponent. Pompey's looking towards his team and like, yo, what's going on here? Pompey goes down as Reishi kind of goes ahead and gets the elimination. And you can see another set of kills and a massive kill. I don't even want to look at the kill feed because this is going to go back and forth, back and forth. WBG's Baiji looks towards himself and trying to avoid the roller. He finds Godly. Elimination off of JJH's shoe. And while this Forbidden Seal could deny this Tesla ultimate, she had already preemptive casted. Nice parry from WBG Baiji. And that's going to be Godly's downfall. For JJH, this is their first set of lives. An immediate. Oh, that's why. Okay. Kind of crazy when you think about it. Because you saw earlier how Reishi, she got those eliminations with Ben and everything. They immediately went for Moonbane purchases. So that's where the economy game comes into play. And obviously right then and there, Baiji looks to try to go ahead and backing off towards the center of the Jin Armory. In Yushan Ruins, J-Team and GG both have their opportunities of fighting once another. Looks like J-Team is in the downfall position, though, as Zem is the last one of them to get eliminated. And this is going to be GG's set of 3 kills for the first set. And J-Team actually finds 2 eliminations. And I don't see any salty reses here, so I'm assuming that was off of DRG. And it was off of DRG, possibly. I don't know. I see 2 kills off of DRG as well. So whoever they found into the thick of things is kind of up to them. But GG has his dead to rights. OUG making away from Salvation Podium, finding gold nunnies. As Yu is going to be the carrier of those gold nunnies. He also has a purple Hong sword, so I'm not even sure how Jin Yu is doing in terms of weaponry, because at least if he doesn't have a purple weapon, stuff. But they do have discount most likely to kind of buy those weapons off the shop. Now Baiji over to the Fortress of Kaviani. WBG is making a way over there. BBE Reishi going to be the bait out. He does have one of the 2 Moonbanes into this. No, he gave it to Snack and Bin. So Snack and Bin have this. You can see this is going to be a bait out between BBE and WBG. I'm not sure if WBG knows he's there. There's a bell struck position in the southeast of the Fortress of Kaviani's towers. So they're really separating one another. Reishi looking to try to go ahead and engage, right? Gets caught to the grapple. Sleepwalker there. Ultimate's being casted here, or the Moonbane's getting casted here. This is where it comes down to this WBG comp. They get a grab of a Roishishi, but this is going to be where Moonbane kind of works its magic. I loved how they kind of worked their way of actually going to use... Okay, so that's what WBG is kind of working off of, I think. Let me look at Baiji's ultimate for the Tesla ultimate. I'm looking... Oh, yeah, that is definitely what they're kind of working off of. That's actually kind of incredible. That's actually kind of incredulous. Hold on a second. Wait a second. So they really, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of smart. They force feed a Tesla ultimate into Waishishi's face and try to hit confirm a secondary target. In this case, it's Snack, right? So they look towards the Tianhai grab to force in a chance. We're at the point at which the Tianhai either grabs or drops the enemy. No matter what, there's always going to be 6 seconds before that enchant comes off, so that way it's a guaranteed second grab and they can't do anything. That's actually kind of smart. Instead of having to rely on Viper in this comp, you can actually get that Tesla enchant 55%, right? So that's a soul bloom for Baiji to try to go for it again into a secondary kill, because you can see this coming out where the enchant could come off of Roishishi. Now he can get grabbed for free, and this Moonbane's going crazy. Ben goes down. That's going to be massive. Wait a second, bro. I've never seen that kind of moment. V2 is proc though. Snack actually saved his teammate. Roy Shishi gets grabbed again, back and again, back and again. BBE doesn't even know how the heck this is happening, but look, the comps are pretty snazzy. The only thing that's giving BBE the necessary advantage here is 110% that Moonbane grabs, or the Moonbane charm coming out here from the early game kills. So while that happens, Sleepwalker tries to get the parry, gets hold checked on a V1 coming out from A Xiao. As WB tries to go ahead and force the 2v2, XCG comes out here for a third party. A Xiao finds a kill off of Roy Shishi. This Moonbane is detrimental for the next 10 seconds. There's Kakaxi, Venn diagrammed. He's dead. He could die. He could die. He could get eliminated here if those Moonbane strikes kept going through, but Kakaxi has to take the time to heal. They're going to go ahead and get those looting patterns coming out here. And remember, there's a Moonbane somewhere on one of those bodies. If it's been picked up already, it's either in WBG's hands or it's still within those bodies as Snack goes ahead and goes towards the reses. Impeccable. Yeah, BBE might get a double res here. I'm not sure how long it's been since Bin died, but they got time. They can go for it. I'm looking at the score while A Xiao is kind of getting into a dip phase. Nope, Timoch got res. XCG going back for the bodies if they can. There's a double res. BBE is a fully reset. Kakaxi is actually back there looking towards these guys getting res, and you can actually see whether or not BBE has a movement. Yes, it is. Snack is placing it, and that's going to be a Temi ult, but inside of this area, XCG's 9HQ had to force ultimate. We're going to look towards a cast coming out here from Kakaxi. As he kind of looks towards and trying to catch off his targets, you can see this Moonbane just do enough damage here if it comes out to their benefit. XCG looking at this HP bar. Ben is going to be his next target if they can, but a beacon drop is going to come through for XCG. As Kakaxi looks towards his Moonbane, he's like, yo, chill. Boom, there it is. It's going to be a health bar. And you can see Kakaxi is like, I'm just going to back off and heal. I can't stick around here for long. And while that keeps his team in the 2v2, he does have range superiority here. Ben gets caught into that shot. Another cannon shot. Has F1. Sticks to the Moonbane. He could get pelted here to deny heals from his opponents, but I'm pretty sure BBE kind of looked to take this time to reset. Remember, that was 2 Banes that they bought in the beginning off of those early game kills. So for XCG right now, they're looking snaz for a fight for round 2. And DRG actually arriving to the scene after seeing 2 Moonbanes and coming off of their first death, their set of deaths. They're going to be coming back for this kill. Or, you know, for revenge. I'm not sure. But BBE, they haven't lost their first lives yet. They haven't died completely for the first set of rounds, so we're going to have to see how that kind of ends up. In the meantime, though, OUG up against 521. Remember, OUG went from Plume Castle, then they went right down south, it looks like. They went to the western edges of the Pinnacle Town. And as 521 kind of keeps their poke on, we're going to see FPX into the corner. You can see them on the northwest of that map right over here as they come out to be stationary, waiting for this team to kind of really set themselves in. Ultimate usage. Anything on nature, they see that, they take advantage of that. That F2 can knock down both OUGU and Pampy. Pampy used his F2, in which case you uses it in reciprocation. Ultimate cast from Pampy, a beacon drop from you. He's going to be able not to take a slash from that iframe for going ahead and transforming into the mech. And as you sees SS getting Pampy focused on, we're going to see another beacon drop from 521 to actually guarantee Pampy's position and getting a reset if possible. It looks like you, though, is getting pressured out. Or pressuring out Pampy as you gets into the sky. And of course, FPX, they're just waiting this out. They're carefully, patiently waiting in the tree line. They're going to get a Tesla ultimate that's going to go crazy. I can sense it. I mean, it's a Wu-Chen Viper Tesla comp. And I think that's going to be a case scenario for them to actually use the F2 for Tesla to group them up. But we're going to see, because I'm not sure how they're going to use the F2 here, because it's a 20-second. Okay, so the F2 is a 20-second cooldown ability. You don't have initial blue frames. You don't have initial gold frames. You don't have nothing. No invulnerability. You are fully susceptible. But the grouping up is a 3 ding 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 that groups up everyone after those hits. So you can group up enemies for more concise, like silence, if in the case scenario, or an F3 from Viper, or even for your team just get a free blue focus. It really just comes down to how fast you can kind of do it and manage it. But here we go. There's the F2, groups them up, and the V3, and the grouping up with the V3 ahead of the Viper ultimate gives Donching that much advantage as F2, as Pampy looks to try to get out of here. This is going to be a free R&B. Let's see if he has himself to get killed out here. Crouch horizontal gives Water that advantage, and that's going to be where FPX kind of shined into their partying this team. Now, this is where it comes into interesting. They weren't fast to grab everybody in one shot, but that V3 from the Viper denies those grapples, so they can try to consolidate another kill or two. If they're fast enough in finding them, you can see Dongqing actually, I saw that. He uses F3 to kind of glide over the landscape to kind of get closer to Jingyu because he knows it's going to be a long time. And with that grapple distance coming out here for Jingyu to benefit him, he's going towards his zone. Going to rock a counterclockwise position around the fortress. Dongqing should realize where this chase is coming out here, because you can see Jing Yu now reversing this chase onto his hand. He finds his R&B. This is a huge switch up coming out here. F3 is available. I don't know why I have captions. I didn't realize that. But F3 not being available here for Dongqing. Looks to the F3. Very nice from Jing Yu. And F2 to confirm staggers into a free blue focus. That's where it comes down. And of course, Jing Yu now have to reposition into living again. And into the boomerang cliff we go. I'm not sure. For gold, yes. Salute quest, yes. That's definitely it for WBG to have that. But another thing is that they find Realm Yang and JJH is on the same boat about doing so. Maps looking pretty snaz. You can actually see KLA over by the Cinnabar Valley for their Realm Yang, and then on top of that we see BBE still under res duty. I'm assuming that once BBE had that fight over by the fortress, they've been trying to make their way over, especially after DRG kind of went in for a third party as in their fight against XCG. And XCG looks to be the one successful. I'm not seeing DRG. Maybe DRG saw that fighting happen, and off of that point, they decided to make a rotation towards the end of the dunes and then made their ways towards the southwest of the Cinnabar Valley. But I don't know. I mean, being because KLA and Bauda were right next to each other, they came over here from the southwestern barracks, so they kind of maybe or may not have looted City of Tong, because, you know, Firefly Cage coming out from that side allows for them to kind of rotate off into that end and actually find the loot pattern area there before the circle succumbed to this whole entire region. But we'll have to see if BBE is lucking out. If KLA nor Bauda found their way towards City of Tang, this is actually perfect. This is perfect for them. They get a full reset in terms of a res, and then they can find gear there that can hopefully make them manage to last into the ends of the circle or for mid game. They just have to reset. Now, no one's entering realm. There's one team. Oh, two teams. Okay, now it's kind of a mad dash if they decide to go through it. But first fight going to happen between XCG, KLA. Weapon selection is kind of precise. You can see Kakaxi actually being the Yoda human with the purple dual blades. Jade selections here are going to be as follows. I'm looking towards and making sure that range Jade, I'll check a look later, but I want to see about that melee resistance, because that could be a stanchion, and it is going to be a stanchion Sky Pillar. That's going to be for 17S. Stanchion Sky Pillar, perfect, especially off of the Kurumi, so that way if CXC looks for a Wisp Throw, he can get it. He also has Starfall into his build. But for 17S as well, for his range Jade, getting a chance and seeing about what he's got, it looks to be a set of armor pierce for the musket, so he has a quick way of shooting out there. And if he does have, if I can locate it, pretty sure that's a slow shot, but I want to triple check. Yes, it's gonna be a slow shot that he's gonna be having and wielding for a range Jade. So he's gonna be, the fact that he has a slow shot with armor pierce already is gonna be immaculate, and I think to QGG's benefit as well for his for that health Jade, health based Jade, I should say. Looking towards and seeing about what that might consist of. I'm looking towards it. It's gonna be a Skyforce. Yikers. So they don't kill this Takeda. QGG could get a full reset on his blue armor. Because this is all that's like, if he had a purple armor, he would have been set. But, you know, KLA wasn't fortunate enough in building that out. We're going to see an immediate ulti pass for QGG. Gets caught to a Cab Bloom, purple rarity. Dual Blade is going to do out 500 damage for himself. And just a note, Weekly 2 is the last week we're going to end up being before the new preparation talent glyph system. So that also includes the Season 12's armor change, meaning that you're not going to see the armor to be 600 for common, 900 for blue, etc., etc. So let's take a look in the scene about that fight again. Well, QGG kind of got dropped down with his ultimate. This is where Kakaxi needs to find a full sense of focus, and as Kurumi still has his tether active even after the ult cast, this gives QGG enough time to kind of dodge out, and this is going to be a full reset for this team. But that Kurumi ult is down, as stated. XG Jianan finds Kakaxi for that beacon drop, and as Jianan looks for cannon shots into the air, he's going to be seeing the Temi ult try to unlock him down here. And as Jianan gets focused, he loses all his armor. XG is going to be looking to try to group up and trying to have confirmation shots. You can see Kakaxi finds CXZ off of there, while Kakaxi and NiHQ try to focus down to one person. You can see it. There it is. Variation to the Weishan. This is going to be where Jianan has himself to really find his safety net at position. He's not going to have that position if his team isn't there, and they're there. That whisk throw, though, could deny anyone trying to push into this range. There's Xiaonan coming after the sky, and QGG hasn't been able to grab this kill. He's looking for it. It might be confirmed. He can't do it. That's going to be an F3 Yorohime that keeps him nice and sustained. QGG gets his elimination here. This is going to be a full reset on his armor, so they have around 30 seconds, 39 seconds really to kind of make that happen, and QGG is really focused onto him. There is going to be a Kabloom, gets spotted out here. Cannon shot coming out from Zhao, and that's going to be a kill off of QGG. Kakaxi goes to his team, finds 17S, who is the final opponent off of this team. And it really came down to QGG's push onto Xiaonan, whether he was looking for the kill, whether he was trying to deny range shots, both from the F3 and from the cannon that Zhao had. He was really looking earnestly to chasing out this opponent. You can see that F3 shot was right there. He got a silence off of CXZ due to it. And as it came down to it, QGG ran right back into those Kabloom shots, and the cannon shot kind of confirms that a little bit of damage, and the RMBs was released, but gets himself caught to a clink as Kakaxi came out through and regrouped with this team. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Remember, it was all sustained though because of the Kurumi ultimate to kind of give KLA that moments. They used it really early on to kind of propel the sustain, especially though considering that Kakaxi was in ultimate as a Yorohime. You can actually see how much that kind of forced pressure allowed for KLA to burn their Kurumi ultimate early on. I mean, QGG got caught into his Kabloom, and in an immediate position where 17S is overleft by himself and not IHQ, with CXZ being caught in the middle right there. Could he have used his ultimate first to deny the second and third slash? Kind of. It really comes down towards Kakaxi being locked into the Temi circle. Then you can see a beacon drop coming out from Xiaonan, and then at that point Kakaxi can get into that beacon with force pressure from IHQ, where the only thing that's going to stop this heal circle from being efficient is if the Wei Shan kind of pushes the enemy team out. Where if you do see Kakaxi kind of keeps his pressure on this end, you can see he's looking towards shots. The Kurumi circle is repositioned, but this gives IHQ a full consideration to use ult as a result of the Temi circle being placed, because V3 for Wei Shan gives the immunity to the Wisp for 4 seconds, or not the Wisp, right? The Wisp can be thrown. It's for the Temi circle wall that it denies the enemy team, or denies that your teammates to be caught into that wind wall. So any which way you look and split, QGG early game ults for early Kurumi ultimate really put him in a bad position where they couldn't regroup. And at that point in time, it was kind of that forced pressure coming up from the Yorohime. And even then, at this point, since Fairy Shen has full real estate to be able to give Kakaxi that ultimate cast for themselves for the beacon, that's where you're going to actually be able to see how much that prospected pressure coming from Fairy Shen really makes it for this team. And that's why QGG kind of wanted to get, that range. I mean, she was low here. She was low, dead to rights. Kakaxi was defending her with Kabloom and as well with the F3, but the moment that QGG kind of dropped distance between her pushing, shifting and everything, using as much energy and stamina and scare rush spots that she could off these pillars, just granted her so much more position advantage than what KLA's QGG was expecting to come out. And, with that, KLA loses the Romiang fight due to that, schmovement. Purple weapon, or purple armor for NIHQ. Gold pair of dual blades now in Kakaxi's hands, so he's going to be able to go ahead and do the damage with that with the Kabloom. But we're switching out over towards the Moonfall Pass as DRG WFZ burning to death gets caught into the RMB for peaks. So crossbow, I should say. Yaron trying to see about a heal here while the range shot's coming out here from Jing Yu from OUG. Actually, all of OUG. And actually, DRG were able to disengage from that whole entire position towards the Bloom Castle. That's crazy. But this team won their Romiang as well. I'm not sure who their opponents are off the rip, but they are going towards the Salvation Podium where those two Blisses are going to be in standing. So they're going to be healing off to this corner. Jing does not have ultimate. As a heads up, the Temi, he's at 67%. Gets caught into the F3 from the sounds from the Fairy Shen shot. Very nice. Jing Yu gets caught into the R&B. Head detach is now revealed for Team Bauda. And this was immediate ultimate cast from Iran to deny that F3 pushback that Jing Yu was kind of. Did he get it? He didn't get the silence, or he didn't get the attack debuff, but did he jump in there with F3? He did, but he avoided it because he rolled. And Jing Yu tried to go for the push here. Xingyu finds himself in the ultimate position. Yoran tries to catches SS and they have to detach. This really comes down towards Yu getting knocked back though, and Yu has Golden Unnies and the ultimate ready to go here. So let's take a look and see how fast this is gonna position change. 2 Fear and Blast are down. We see that. They're waiting for the Fear to be coming out here for the cast. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, slash. And with everything coming out here from Yoda Hime, it was really a timing of the marks for that for the timings for the Fear and Blast for Xingyu to get guaranteed slam downs with his spear in general form. That actually continues those slashes to be confirmed, and Yu just goes in with these Golden Unnies and just slams down this Vermilion Bird's might team. And even though he already uses 9 casts, I mean, this is it for about for the first set of lives here from Vermilions. And UG actually picks up their first 3 eliminations in that team fight. Really good stuff. And you know, it's crazy because they found Salvation Podium first. They actually solved that issue of DPS pretty early on, but they weren't able to find any teams to kind of work it off in making sure and getting consideration for the kills. But like I said, I mean, one good fight into that scenario, into the mid game, you know, they'll find the Vermilion Birds, my team, to get eliminated, and they'll get elimination gold because of it. Now, unfortunately, KLA, they look to be kind of hunting. They had CXZ actually. I think CXZ was actually their spotter in looking for enemies. He was still in soul form while he exited the Romy Yang, and still being in Romy Yang depletion for 2 minutes. That cost a lot of time, but J Team, JJH, they're getting chased, or JJH is getting chased. I'm not sure what J Team's up to, but they got 3 eliminations. They're playing for placement already. I mean, I'm not against it, but they're looking for the full extent of the second Romy Yang to kind of work their magic. I'm not sure what their gear selection is looking like. I don't even know how they're looking like in Jades, but we're gonna have to see. I like how we actually saw. Let's talk about that. So 17S, LMB musket shot. Is that a restagger? Let me see. Yeah, it is. Wow, and it allows for a frame advantage for an LMB for a horizontal attack. Wow. In a way, bro. That was kind of flustering. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it isn't. I don't think. I mean, range shots can knock you off of trees, but I'm not sure if musket headshot stagger actually confirms stagger. I don't think so. Like pistols as well. Bow shot staggers, yeah, but the speed at which the crossbow or the speed at which the musket comes out is kind of immaculate. Now Bauda, they lost that. Like I said, they lost that fight into the next to the Salvation Podium. But the other thing about this is that they didn't even fight into Romy Yang. They might have gotten the brown buff for free, possibly. Maybe the Morris Blessing. I'll have to double check and see about it. Let me just double check. Wow. Morris Blessing was... It's a Mystic Might. It's not even close. So, you know, that kind of came down towards that. Where they just got a free roam because there's 2 eliminations. I'm not sure if there was a 2-man team inside of the Romy Yang. We'll have to double check that one too. But at the end of the day, KLA, they still have a minute. They still haven't found any bodies. They're just going to go ahead and lose their first set of lives. They got 4 eliminations. That's great. They don't want to get 3 extra eliminations towards an enemy team to kind of surpass them. And remember, this is going to be making sure they can get the placement for finals next week. Or for this weekend. For the... I'm looking for the date. Is it 21st? I can't even look. That's crazy. Pretty sure it's the 21st. All right. So Romy Yang gonna be spotting here. This is where it's stagnation for a little bit. I'm not seeing. Where's Morris Blessing, bro? Oh, okay. Draco Storm is right between Igneous Mountain and the Altar Tranquility Serpent's Pass area. Okay. It's not bad. Bout is right next to J Team. J Team, are they really looking to kind of go into the Romy Yang, or are they just going to hold out for 3 eliminations until the second Romy Yang teams enter? Because OUG is making their way towards this area, towards that Romy Yang possibly. We're going to see Fight 2-1 over by Salvation Podium, right? DRG or WBG, FPX, they're all right next to each other. It seems that Zhao Hu, though, he's just left behind for a little bit of distance. We have to see, because, you know, like Team Bauda, you know, they're going, oh, KLA found a Rebirth charm? So, and within a minute? Dang, that's crazy. I guess they're making their way towards this. XCG, though, inside Romy Yang. So I guess KLA did have a plan after all. I'm not gonna look at their finances now in terms of how much gold they had before that minute mark came through. But if they found enough time to go for it, then that's kind of crazy. But OUG trying to make their way inside this Romy Yang. Musket shot to the musket shot. Okay, let's just look into this fight because this is an outbound Romy Yang fight between WBG and FPX. How did this happen? I need to replay. Oh wait, this is okay. So this is it. Okay, this is where the Viper Tesla comp comes out here. A grab is for free. Another grab was not confirmed. We're gonna look for another one anyways. The slam down comes against Zhao, and they're gonna look for R&Bs and pretty good for WBG, and they actually grab Zhao. But since that V1 happened, this is a lot of terrain for WBG to cover. Like the amount of, I'm looking at that and that's a nightmare. The amount of areas that you can hide behind into this snowy forest build area, that you have both not only walls and trees and rocks and shrubs, it's just the amount of verticality as well that gives them enough to just say maybe we can't find it. There's a bell next to this soul altar that they could strike. Actually, no, that bell is next to where water is, but they can look for that bell to actually commit towards finding them. But we'll have to see if that's going to happen, if FPX gets eliminated due to that. Romy Yang, oh man. Hold on. I need to watch that one back. So let me see, because this is the start, and I saw someone with no armor immediately. So Kakaxi has himself up there. SS has himself up there. OUG has a higher ground. Two players are trying to reach the sky here from XCG, and IHQ's on the bottom floor with Xinyu. So F3 shot from SS. I see U is on NIHQ. No, not NIHQ. On Jing. No, not on Jingyu. On yeah. Okay, hold on. So U gets content at Cab Bloom. I'm curious. So SS pushes off Kakaxi, but U gets content at Scare Rush action. F2 comes out here from U. Hold on a second. Because this is really well done. Yeah, Scare Rush coming out from U, and then boom, F2, and then a beacon cost to come out here. Gives you enough salvation for just a couple of seconds. There's a cannon shot against Xiaonan, who looks to try to look for a beacon for Kakaxi here in just a second. I'm looking for it. Another last slash to come out here. SS doesn't have himself to kind of work with this. He's in F3 midair to buy some time for that position, and then the beacon drop for Xiaonan to give himself enough credit. SS is just trying to avoid this. Nice kill coming out here from NIHQ, and as U kind of looks towards a cannon mode, pushing off his targets, NIHQ is going to be looking to try to group up on Kakaxi as it comes out. But Xinyu is getting pushed out by 9. F2 cast is not going to save U. Yeah, Kakaxi, OUG kind of working, or XCG working their magic here with this Kablu and making sure everything kind of happens here in Romy Yang and catching out the enemies. An early onset ultimate for OUG was kind of not what they were looking for, as SS had to force a beacon onto his teammate for Xinyu. But, you know, stuff. Bowed up against KLA. Oh, man. Oh, man. Nice bow shots from Iran, bro. This is about his 4th elimination. Mystic Might for XCG, and GG finds that Draco Storm most likely off of that, off of the Morris Blessing. At least I believe so. We're gonna see. We're gonna have to see their weaponry if they have a gold weapon somewhere, because I don't see it out. Yeah, it sucks though. CGS is not at ultimate yet. He's at 47%. Actually, all of GG don't have ultimate. Maybe they just burned it out for that Draco Storm for guaranteeing that Morris Blessing, but 3 eliminations so far. 10 eliminations for WBG is kind of astounding. I gotta be honest. I have to be honest. FPX, they lost their Wooch, and Zhao Hu got actually eliminated. But the Viper lives on. OUG trying to see about the spawn towards Salvation Podium. I'm not sure if they left those soul booms behind. If they did, that's immaculate. Wait. Wait, what? Wait, I'm so confused. How the heck is Dongqing from FPX stuck in... Wait, who was there first? Who was there first? Who was in that... Yo, hold on, bro. Because you got to remember, unless you hit that bush or you see some little glints, if you like really want to look at the bush or you shoot range shots, you can technically enter a bush without you knowing the enemy's in there. And actually, you can take a look into seeing this. Bauta gets ambushed out here from OUG as Pete gets caught into the F3 shot. You're going to see Yaron get almost caught into 1-2-3s. There's a dodge off that R&B. Very nice. F2 to recast. Uppercuts confirmed. And then a reheal coming out here. This is going to be an ultimate cast here from you, right? Because nice cacti push. And Aurora burst of reveal from Bauta to Peak here. And Yaron finds it have to detach for heal. And the knockback doesn't happen from the cannon mode. But Yaron, not in a great spot. He uses the Takeda to get some heal back for this push. But Yaron is getting still pressured out. R&B was confirmed. And then the final cannon shot from you. And an early onset disengagement for his ultimate for the mecha. So LME to the F2 is kind of crucial here, though. You gets a recast, uppercut confirmed, and a nice set of onslaught coming in from Jingyu. He might be able to catch this pinging. I think he should cancel. He's going right back down towards this, though. He should be canceling ultimate unless it looks like he catches range for the V3, but it's not going to be the case. Yeah, Yu cancels it. Can't catch him off. RBs again. Remember, that F2 could do some work here in a second, and Yu finds it. Tries to chase it down. It's going to be an F2 recast to kind of lock in, but it looks like Bauta can have another day to work here. He has 50% on ult. He's getting rage per second. He has Aurora burst. He can hold blue focuses. Let's see if he ult casts here. He's not going to have enough time, but then 5-2-1 finds their way towards this fight. They realize that I'm pretty sure they hit Bell to actually initiate this. And Yu goes ahead and gets caught out. Actually, FPX, who gets eliminated. Or, no, Dongqing gets eliminated from GG. So I'm not sure how that happened since they came from the same bush. So we're gonna have to double check that. Judging by what's happening right here into this fight, though, V3 from Moonlight. No. Moonlight is the saving grace. He's the guy who's getting this team out here. V3 from J Teams Lee. Not even J Teams Lee. Yeah, V3 from J Teams Lee. Prox, Moonlight. I don't know how he did it. I don't know if it's them. I'm pretty sure it's Moonlight. They got them out. Falls slowly, but gets to... Oh, wow, he is lucky because he's on the edge of that semicircle right at the end. And WBG rocks in here. So J-Team actually finds a port out as well, maybe, because J-Team is a WBG is a kind of a threat right now with this comp against that team that has now no ultimate to kind of work off of. So we're going to see what happens here. WBG looking for cannon shots. BBE trying to rush in here. Yeah, J-Team looks for the port out. Looks like there's one ultimate. No, they don't. They just get away from that? That's crazy. They don't even have the port out. I'm looking at this from a perspective that DRG is the first team to port out because they need to. But J-Team, J-Team, let me see. I'm looking at their ultimates because all I see is Zem. And then after this port, XLY has an ultimate cast ready to go. I'm looking for J-Team. I don't see them. All right, there they are. Yeah, okay, yeah, and Lee doesn't have ultimate because he was the first one to use the V3 there. So the fact that Sleep, I think it's because of BBE showing up here, right? But at the same time, no Wu-Chen port, not needed. Kind of crazy. Now, as I push into Igneous Bound, WBG are doing kind of some scenario type shit, you know. I have to say it as it is. The fact that their Tian Hai gets that grab is where Baiji can actually guarantee a test enchant. But not only to the test enchant, if he finds another target from the team, he looks to use that hand position to go up to a double jump and use a cast and then try to catch someone else. So that way it's a double down position. And where if Sleepwalker uses that slam down, Sleepwalker would actually initiate more time spent for that enemy team to find it. So, I mean, it kind of comes down towards the team comp really just synergizing really well. Hopefully to see that type of commitment towards it for the end, for week 2 and games day 2 and day 3. GG though are upgrading their slots of weaponry. Actually, I can take a look and see about this as well. Now, considering that LXM is a Tumulch, judging by his Jade for the attack side, it looks like his Jade is going to be Heartstopper Kick. So that's a guaranteed silence if he catches the Wisp or someone even in the zone if they are not a Weishan team to have V3 available. But at the same time, if his secondary Jade is what I think it is, which No, it's not that one. I'm looking at it right now. The Jade that he has as a secondary Jade seems to be a Dreadful Whale. If he needs to switch out to be a Onslaught of Force into the ground units, then he can do that. In the meantime, 3-3-0. I think he picks with a stanchion from earlier for the stanchion Sky Pillar. I'm looking to double check here and seeing if that's the case. It is the case. And then he has himself a Jade of for attack type, which is going to be... Interestingly enough, can't find it. Is that another? No, it's not. Can't be. It's going to be a Dragon War. So that's kind of dangerous. Dragon War stanchion. It's pretty good. But box is safe for XG to grab. Oh, wow. How safe was that? Gold armor for Kakaxi there. But, Mortal Defiance too? Alright. They didn't pick up the whatever that Jade was that's coming through here, but Flamebringer is definitely going to be picked up. Just to take a look into that range Jade. It looks like it was a burst arrow, and I'm assuming they don't have anything of that. Or maybe a dead rounds. But they do have Meteor. So for Xiaonan, that's perfect, especially as a Fairy Shen. Starfall in his build. Pretty sure he's looking at a 1-2-3 Jade of significant value. I'm trying to look to see if that was a splitter, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I'm still looking for it. I think it's dual circles. Excuse me. Took a nice sneeze. But, I don't know. I mean, WBG are 10 eliminations. 20 other opponents for them to fight. They have to make distance between everybody, though. The moment that their ultimate TN High comes out, there's no protection for him unless he has this Kurumi on tether standby duty. And also the Kurumi gives that health back, so I mean it kind of works out. Like, but at the same time, 20% defense buff can only do so much. If Aisha doesn't get himself the ultimate there to be successful, or rather the targets find themselves in a situation where they're safe because their teammates offer an ultimate, or rather towards a escape, like a Wushen, like that's where it comes out to haunt them, that they just utilize 2 ultimates for a team that can just get out with 1. But I do see 5-2-1 trying to chase out here with an F2 against Jinyu. Jinyu goes ahead and gets his ultimate off, so he's just going to try to regroup into the zone. They lost their Farius Shen, so for SS being down here, it's going to be a very difficult position for this team. They don't have any sort of way of safety netting themselves until they have to use their ultimates themselves. And of course, you do see how Yu kind of has his ultimate ready. He's not gonna, he's not gonna want to use it until he's using it for defensive measures. Jinyu uses that last V3F to kind of give that defense mitigation in case he's getting chased. But this is where it comes into range game for the last 7 minutes here. Pompey having to use ult here, though, not a great spot. It was Yin's decision, or for Pompey to get in there, so Yin actually just dropped that beacon for Pompey to be safe here for early pressure, as well as for Yin having a range position to go off. But Pompey cannot go up that he cannot go up that cliffside. That's not gonna happen. Don't do it. He can't. He goes up that cliffside and trying to initiate into a fight. He can get R&B'd out the mech. Like not him, like not just him directly, but also to the HP bar getting spammed by fans. But a Moonbane drop is coming out here. This is the last Moonbane of the lobby. This is by NPC based Bane. Moonlight gets elimination off of Jingyu. That's tough. And actually OUG gets eliminated as a result. We actually didn't get to see how Xiaonan was able to get out. Or not Xiaonan. Let me see. How fast was that kill? Oh, Yoda was done. He was done. Yeah, he got musk shotted. Well, WBG find their way into this corner. Remember, this is technically WBG's game if they get lucky enough. DRG Moonlight getting caught into that Moonbane inside of the building. Ugh, I don't think DRG should be here for long. That Moonbane's going to stick around for a little bit more of a long while than what they're kind of anticipating. 20 seconds, specifically. Yeah, Moonbane cast happening back to back. Oh no, Venn diagram. CGS is done. Wow. Crazy. Cancel. Yeah, okay, he canceled. That was good for 3-3-0. I was looking at 3-3-0's ultimate like this. That he needs to cancel it now because that cost is too immense. Nice R&B spam coming out from J Team to actually eliminate Pompey. And interesting. Wu-Chen Port to go right back into the zone. That thing's gonna hurt. XOY is almost the one who's taking that the blow to the fastest, so he'd need to get out first. And we're gonna see Lee at 60% for Rage for the Viper. A canyon fight or ravine fight between XCG, WBG, almost. I mean, the thing is that we know Xiaonan's ultimate or Kakaxi's ultimate's down. Xiaonan, you know, gave the beacon for Kakaxi. He's probably pelting these guys as well. But the problem, the problem that comes out of this is that if Aisha finds, if Baiji finds an opportunity here for a Tesla enchant, there it is. Sleepwalker having to repair. Shouldn't be looking for an ultimate cast here. Nice teleport off, yeah, because he knew that Yodohime was going to be fully threshold to teleport through the enchant. This is going to be a good time for them to actually build a back rage. CJS has ultimate already casted. Looks like BBE and XGG are trying to pelt them out from the northwest side. CGS looks towards it. XGG is pushing GG team. This is going to be a pushback for Fury. There's only going to be one last Fear and push to come out here. And that's going to be a guaranteed R&B off of Kakaxi, who finds the F3. And Kakaxi has ultimate here in just a moment. But Sleepwalker looks for double grabs off this region. We're going to see Moonlight try to go for this beacon or for the teleport. And that's going to give, you know, it's only so many places you can teleport through. So for them, it's going to be a position that they can take advantage of. The Temi Circle is going to give enough range shots to go off against Sleepwalker from BBE on the other side. They're going to use the crossbow. They're going to use poison bolts. They're going to have everything they kind of do to take off this Tanhai. But Sleepwalker is losing his opportunity for time. And there it is. He had full armor, so he's kind of good here to go. But J-Team's leave, finds the F3, has V3 up. So he can, you know, he has a pressure tool here. The disenchant isn't going to happen here. But if they can protect Zem uses F3 preemptively since he is the one enchanted. He should be safe here as a Wu-Chen. Cannon shots can say, nah, bump that. I'm going to do my own thing. And they're going to be able to get the splash damage. But right now, Test Enchant, V3 Viper, off into the zone. WBG got caught out big time. Like, not even understatement, big time. Like, when I mean big time, I mean, like, J-Team Lee, the fact that, okay, hold on. The fact, okay, will you slow this down? We're gonna slow this down. The fact that Lee, right, look at how Lee does it. Scare Rush position up. Test Enchant is guaranteed from XXY. Lee drops down with a V3 to reposition himself to be able to drop straight down and finds an F3 after the Test Enchant was guaranteed to knock these guys back into a spot they'd rather not be in, just kicking them off the cliffside, Sparta style. J-Team Lee finds out the Kurumi is easy to go off of as A Xiao isn't actually able to do anything. No skills can be casted while that V3 is up for Viper, and within the time frame their jabbing comes out, but nothing is going to save Sleepwalker even with that combo breaker due to the timing perspective. J-Team Lee really did a good job there though. Dropping up there to be initiating with the XOY to get the kill. It's smart to use terrain to your advantage, ain't that right? Now, Wu Shen finds himself to disenchant, so does WFZ. XOY is using the F2 from the Tessa, if I'm not mistaken, to kind of push this position away, but it doesn't seem to work it out in XOY's favor, and J-Team loses out their Tessa. Final circle is going to be a little bit tough for them, especially since if Wu Chen doesn't have ultimate, but it looks like Lee is not going to stop. Actually, hold up. Wait a second. Something ain't right. Zem has ultimate here for J-Team, so he can port their Tessa for a res. And actually, you know, try to go for it, but I don't think that's a case scenario for them. I mean, GGCGS has one more Fear and Blast. There is the ultimate. They find this res. This is immense. They find the res. This is huge. GG's 3-3-0 looking to deny this res. It's not going to happen just yet. Scare Rush from... What? All right, hold on. Wusha 98 trying to use a Roar Burst to deny entry, but Scare Rush clean. Lee has his spot to pick up the Solum. Finds an RB instead of off a bin. F3 kill confirm. Oh my goodness. J-Team coming in here for this round as a gamer pick. Has ultimate V3 cast. Lee gets caught to the RB, gets that 40% mitigation, but zone tick damage kills him off. That's the only thing that was going to give him enough trouble as is. And J-Team finds 9 eliminations to this final circle. We still have Zem in the background with XLY, Roy Shishi, Snack. They're going to go up against GG into this corner side. Ben is low enough to use ultimate, I think, right now, and that's going to be the case to kind of lock the center. Venn diagram is formed between both GG and BBE, so depending on which circle you enter, it's going to be giving you advantage or disadvantage, and CGS tries to chase down Snack here from the cliffside. G330 with that beautiful Dragon Warrior push off. RMB comes out here, parry. Roger Script's not going to save CGS here, even with the HP 3 store, because he's at 100% HP. He's good, but we do have to see whether this J-Team XLY ultimate comes out, because he finds this disenchanting off of Roishishi and Lee that they are not with Lee that they can just go ahead and just full-blown murder somebody, and there it is. Roishishi F2 is on the ground for Lee to be saved here for in case of anything from XLY, and could be looking to try to reposition after that tackle. Goes for a jabbing, but I think XLY looking to try to go for an aerial ultimate. If he's able to get that done, that's going to be where GG's going to have to try to resolve this, but I don't think he has ultimate, because we do see 330 with V2 still available. Nice Dragon War from 330. Lee goes down. Ben is the last team to actually work off of BBE, and GG with 13 eliminations might be surpassed here from this point for 14, and that's going to be 15 right there against their opponents. LXM looks for this F1, denying the kill off of this point. RMB knocking him out, and yeah, 16 eliminations here for GG as they find those eliminations to be MVP for this round. Very nice. Very nice from GG. Catching themselves a nice hefty MVP for the first round, and I think around 20-some points to kind of work their magic. 25 points. And in first place, it's big. 15 eliminations. But J-Team finds 19.3 eliminations here. WG with 19.3 for J-Team. WG for 14.2. 9.9 for DRG. BBE with 9.8. 9.3 for XCG. OUG with 7.1. 5 for Bauda. 4.9 for KLA, FPX with 3.5, 2.1 for 521, and JJH with 0 kills, 0 eliminations, and no placement points for this round. Now, off of this end, that's where our standings are, because it is day 1. But we do see CJS coming out as MVP for their team from GG, and 14k damage, right? Not a lot of damage, but you know, the kill participation is there for the 11, where he had 5 kills and 6 assists. In case he gets eliminated, right? Poison Splash. But he was using the fan RMBs and Soul Shatter to kind of confirm. And he had Nether Step as well with the Ripple. So Vipers can they can't get affected, or he can't get affected by Vipers even with V3 and V1 if he finds the dodge, because the amount of dodges you can get with the Nether Stepping, which deducts the amount of stamina for using a fan or dagger, on top of having Ripple and Phantom Step, you know, to kind of just move around, just denies positions of the V3 tether, so you can use Fear and Blast in between, and then just be able to push them away. That's a really crucial point to make mention of, because that's why the dagger and fan with him can work so well now, especially the fan, because the RMBs are super confirmed with the Fear and Blast to confirm the damage, and now he has a dodge, you know, capability to amplify his immunity off of that end. But that's the end of round 1. We're gonna go into round 2 for day 1 trios for bi-weekly 2. Thank you guys for sticking around for this long. If you are here at this point, any comments, any liking, if you want to drop a like, if you want to drop a subscription, just let me know. I also keep doing these coming through here. Any feedback, that's the most important. You want to message me through Discord, you want to message me through the comments below, just let me know if any sort of upgrades that you would see me prefer doing. Like, hey, I want to see lines. I want you to draw lines on this board. You say names, I don't know where they are. You know, I'm like, oh, they're right there. And oh, claro que sí. But like I said, my name is Severio Caster, and I'll be back for round 2 coming out right next.